first thing to go. Caught the low sun at 5 p.m. Turned the whole windshield into a blind spot. I didn't hear the impact. I heard the silence right after. The radiator hissing like a stepped-on snake. No birds, no wind. Just the smell of hot iron and old upholstery. I never intended to visit with this look on my face. Blood on the fender, silver and red. Forget every hollow word the preacher man said. Keep the engine turning, keep the ghost behind. Nothing but the black asphalt on my mind. The metal is cold, but the blood is still humming. The ownership is gone, but the hours remain. I'm washing the grease with a bucket of rain. Stays cold, trading half-priced wisdom for a soul that's been sold. I don't need a pulpit made of polished oak. I don't need a savior draped in velvet and smoke. I just need a double shot of something that burns before the big wheel of the morning returns. Cheap whiskey theology, burning in the throat, writing my confessions on a $10 note. No halo coming, no wings in the black sky, just a slow burn truth and a quick fire lie. The bottle is the Bible, and the ice is the prayer. Stained glass windows in the basement, neon bar, following the flicker like a morning star. Baptized in bourbon, saved by the cube, watching the world through a glass bottom tube. The landlord says the rent is 3 weeks late. I told him the Lord is still deciding my fate. song of fear. She gave me the check and she gave me a wink. The truth is always clearer at the bottom of a drink. And we're loud. We're broken, we're loud. Static in the wiring and rust on the strings. I don't give a damn about the profit it brings. Turn it to 11 till the windows start to shake. I'll take every single bit that I'm able to take. June says the noise is a sin against peace. I told her the noise is my only release. Three generations of staying in line, of working the dirt and of biding the time. Well, I broke the clock and I burned the map. I'm falling right through the middle of the gap. The ownership is zero, but the volume is max. I'm living in the space between the digital cracks. Broken loud, nothing left to lose. Stepping on the throat of the working man's blues. No pathos, no pity, no velvet or lace. Just the sound of the static hitting my face. Pockets are empty and the tank is on dry, but the amplifiers are screaming at the Georgia sky. The landlord's knocking, so I kicked in the light. I'm staying at the bottom for the rest of the night. is a sin against peace. I told her the noise is my only release. Three generations staying in line of working the dirt and abiding the time. Well, I broke the clock and I burned the map. I'm falling right through the middle of the gap. The ownership is zero, but the volume is max. I'm living in the space between the digital cracks. It's a heavy machine tearing through the middle of a fever dream. this fit. Boot prints on the altar rail, stained with red clay. Tasting the salt and drinking the hail. The roof is leaking light and it's leaking rain, washing up the copper and the rust-colored stain. I found a photograph of someone I used to be, standing in a field where there's nothing but a tree. Of a rusted van, dreaming of a God with a 5-year master plan. But the tires are bald and the road is getting long, and there's nothing but the grit in a southern song. The preacher said, wait for the light to descend. I said, I'm just waiting for the weekend to end. Dust and redemption, a heavy hand knocking on a hollow wooden door. It's a dry kind of grace. Says the dust is just history in the air, getting in your lungs and getting in your hair. She says the red clay remembers every single name. I told her the red clay just treats us all the same. I'm shaking my boots and I'm shaking my head, living on the things that the old folks said. A bittersweet trade, walking the edge of the promise we never made. No halo for the weary, no gold for the poor, just a heavy hand knocking on a hollow wooden door. It afloat. I don't wanna take it, and I don't want to see it. I just want the vibration underneath my feet. Speeding past the chapel on the side of the hill, never could sit and I never could be still. The engine is the preacher and the low frequency, rattling the bone inside the marrow. It's not a sound you hear, it's a weight you carry, like a snake moving under the floorboards of a rented house, looking for a warm spot, looking for a way in. Tuning into a channel that I can't quite name, playing a physical, dangerous kind of game. It bypasses the ears and it goes to the gut, keeping the windows and the heavy doors shut. I don't need a melody and I don't need a rhyme. I just need to stay inside the pocket of time. Stepping in the soft bass, moving through the floor. Don't try to hide and don't lock the door. It's a physical thing, it's a gravity weight pulling us down to the bottom of the state. Listen to the hum. June says the vibration is the earth talking back, finding the weak spot and finding the crack. She says the silence is just a noise you can't feel. I told her the noise is the only thing that's real. We're shaking the foundation of the old brickyard, working the rhythm like we're working too hard. Stepping in the soft bass, moving through the floor. Don't try to hide and don't lock the door. It's a physical thing, it's a gravity weight pulling us down to the bottom of the state. Breathing through the static of a blown out amp, living by the flickering of a kerosene lamp, hard lungs pulling in the thick southern air, looking for a spirit that was never even there. My father had a cough that sounded like a song, telling me exactly where the world went wrong. Stained glass is beautiful when the sun hits the dust, but the structure is held together by the iron and the rust. It's a mechanical grace, it's a greasy kind of love, sent from the red clay, not the clouds up above. Bobby Ray says the gospel is a path you must walk. I told him the gospel is the way that I talk. Iron lung gospel, singing through the rust, building up a temple in the red clay dust. No institution and no holy sign, just the heavy pressure of the bottom line. We're breathing in the heat of the night, in the middle of a beautiful physical fight. We don't need a ceiling and we don't need a floor. We're just breathing until we can't breathe anymore. Taillights fading in the cracked rearview glass, watching the ghost of the 20th century pass.